All right, so if you clicked on this video, chances are you have a PP and balls. And if you do, welcome, because today I'm going to be discussing, let's just say some very relatable experiences. And for anyone watching this who doesn't have a PP and balls, that's okay. For the sake of the video, you can just pretend you do. For anyone who's new here, my name is Sunny. Before I start, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. Let's shoot for 5,000 likes on today's video, guys. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably used a urinal before, perhaps maybe once or twice. But just to make sure we're all on the same page, I'm gonna give you all a little test real quick. Let's begin. Out of the two urinals you see in this picture, which one would you choose? All right, if you said left, congratulations, you're correct. Now let's do another one. Out of all the urinals you see in this picture, which one would you choose? If you chose the one at the very end, then congratulations, you're also correct. But if you chose any other urinals besides these two, I'm sorry, but what the fuck is wrong with you? So for anyone who doesn't know, there's pretty much 3 unspoken rules when it comes to using urinals. Those 3 rules being, number 1, stay as far away as possible. Number 2, don't make eye contact. And number 3, for the love of God, don't make conversation. Now, I know all 3 of these are pretty self-explanatory, but for some, let's just say they're not. One time I was in this bathroom that had a copious amount of urinals, and I decided to use the one at the very end because that's just what you do. And eventually this guy walks in, but instead of using any of the other 85 urinals in there, he starts using the one right next to me. He then unzips his pants, takes his little buddy out, and unleashes a piss that was so heavy, so powerful, so astounding, it could put out a fucking forest fire. There was so much piss coming out of this man's womb broom. Mr. Beast could have purified it to save an entire village in Africa, okay? But aside from the tsunami level piss this guy's producing, he leans forward, rests his arms on the flush valve, turns to me, looks deep into my eyes and goes, "How's your day going?" Needless to say, I just use stalls now. Now, I know I've never experienced the pain of childbirth before, and hopefully I never do, but if I had to guess how bad it is, I'd probably say it's just like getting hit in the balls, except nowhere near as painful. This might be kind of a stretch, but I think it's safe to say that getting kicked in the balls is the single most defining thing you can go through as a man. That and divorce, probably. Like, I remember back in 5th grade, I played tackle football, and we had to wear cups because it's fucking tackle football. And of course, the one practice I forget to wear my cup, the one practice I forget my cup at home. I got hit with a ball so hard, it nearly killed all my troops. If you get what I'm trying to say. That shit was so painful, dude. I remember falling to my knees in agony, trying to subside the pain and save whoever was left down there. But unfortunately for me, I was too late. They were smashed to bits, reduced to atoms. It was like Hiroshima in my pants. Kidding, I still have them, but needless to say, it hurt quite a bit. Aside from that though, has anyone else landed on their feet from jumping off like a playground or fence or something and felt excruciating pain in their balls immediately after? Or is it just me? And by that, I mean it literally feels like someone put your boys in the electric chair and put that shit on full blast. I ended up asking my doctor about this one time, and he said that when you jump from a high point and land really hard on your feet, your balls clap together viciously, which makes it feel like Static Shock shot a fucking lightning beam at your sack. All right, so I think I speak for all guys when I say that unlike women, men never get compliments. We just simply don't. Like, you could go to the comment section on any girl's Instagram post, and I guarantee you that all the comments will say things like, "OMG slay, yes, mommy." And even in real life, girls will gas their friends up basically to no end, which I think is great. Like, support your friends, boost your friends' self-esteem, verbally glaze your friends. However, when it comes to guys, that shit just doesn't happen. Like, one time I told my friend I thought his outfit was cool, and instead of saying thank you, he told me to hop off his dick. Like, dude, I'm just trying to be a good friend. Let me love you. Let me cherish you. Kidding, but at the end of the day, I think the fact that we don't get compliments isn't a big deal or anything. Like, I don't think a lot of us really even care about that, but good lord, when someone does compliment us, especially a woman, trust me when I tell you that we'll never forget that, okay? And if it's a woman we like, at that point it's over, dude. That shit will literally be branded into our memory until the end of time. Like, I remember one time I was hanging out with this girl I used to like, and I don't know what led up to her saying this, but out of nowhere she goes,
You smell good.
And after she said that, best believe your boy was on cloud 9, okay? I was about to start violently making out with her in the middle of Walmart. But not only that, it made me realize that this was the first time anyone besides my mom has ever told me this. Like, that's how rare these kinds of interactions are. And believe it or not, this is the reality for a lot of us. I'm like 99% sure most guys watching this remember every compliment they've ever received. Dude, my first grade teacher told me I was handsome one time. And to this day, I think about violently making out with her too. And that was 15 years ago. I think another thing guys can all relate to is the fact that we can pretty much become best friends with each other almost instantly. There just has to be some sort of common interest between us. Like, you could put two guys in a room who have never met each other before, who just so happen to like cars, and I guarantee you they'll become best friends the moment they start talking about V8 engines or whatever. Like, I've made friends with guys in public simply because them or I made a joke we all thought was funny. It's just that easy. Now, I know this isn't exclusive to men because I'm sure there's a lot of girls out there who can make friends left and right, but some of my best friends who are girls always tell me that it's so hard for them to make friends with other girls because there's always some sort of drama that goes down, or the girls they meet end up being really fake. And I guess the same thing can happen with guys as well, but you don't see it as often. We actually love each other on this side. All right, so last but certainly not least, we have not being allowed to show your emotions. As men, we're pretty much taught from the very beginning that we're not supposed to show any signs of softness or vulnerability whenever we're going through hard times or just in general, which is really fucked up when you think about it, but such is life. However, it does suck though. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's secretly the reason why we live shorter lives than women do. Actually, who the fuck am I kidding? This is why we live shorter lives than women. All jokes aside though, I mean it when I say that a lot of our true feelings are never shown out in the open. Like, imagine wanting to cry during the opening scene from Up. You know, the part where they have a fucking miscarriage and Ellie fucking dies. But before you release the floodgates, you realize that if you decide to cry and God forbid someone catches you, it'll result in 3 very awful things happening. 1, you'll scare the huzz away. 2, you'll get called a pussy by your friends. And 3, which I think is the worst of all, your estrogen levels will increase. So you just hold it in and pretend like nothing happened. Luckily for us though, this is something that we've started to move past as a society, and we now have things like Men's Mental Health Month and that fucking Logic song, which I think is great and all, but I'm like 99% sure the majority of us still avoid being vulnerable in pretty much every sense of the word. And it's not because we're deliberately trying to. It's because it's all we know how to do. Like, my whole family could die right in front of me, my girlfriend could cheat on me, and my dog could die all within the same half hour, and someone could come up to me and ask how I'm doing, and I'd just be like, oh yeah, I'm doing good, just because I don't want to burden them with my problems. Now, just to set the record straight, I don't agree with this, but it's the reality for a lot of us, because it can be scary opening up, man, especially because you never know what people's true intentions are. And the thought of someone potentially using your vulnerabilities against you somewhere down the line can be really disheartening, because trust me, I've been there. But I want anyone who's been in this spot before, or anyone who's in this spot currently, to know that it's okay to cry and feel bad about things like your dog dying, or your girlfriend cheating on you, or Ellie dying in Up, and it doesn't make you any less of a man at all. In fact, it makes you more of a man for facing those feelings head on and being in tune with your emotions. And if you're a guy who can relate to all the things I just said, and you've made it this far into the video, thank you, and I hope that you get everything you want out of life. I also hope that your balls stay intact as well.